The Last Dragon Keeper and the Pearl of the Essence. High in the Sleeping Dragon Mountains, amidst the perpetual clouds, lay the Monastery of Quiet Wisdom. And on that night, the tranquility of 1,000 years was shattered by the sounds of pained screams and the clash of steel. Shen, the cruel warlord, and his shadow assassins had attacked the monastery, leaving destruction and fire in their wake. In the heart of the burning temple, the young monk Lian knelt beside his Grand Master, who was breathing his last. The old master placed his trembling palm on Lian's chest and whispered in a faint voice, "He is not searching for a treasure, but for the heart of the monastery. Now, you are the heart." The master's hand glowed with a warm, golden light, and Lian felt something small and alive penetrate his chest and settle deep within his being like a burning ember. Then the master's head lolled, and his spirit departed. At that moment, Shen entered the temple. He was a tall man wearing armor as black as coal, and his eyes held an ancient pain harsher than his hatred. He looked at Lian and said in a hoarse voice, "Where is it? Where is the essence of the last dragon? So, what is the secret of this dragon for which an entire monastery was destroyed? And how will an unarmed monk escape the grasp of the most powerful of warlords? Stay with us to discover that the greatest powers lie deep within our own beings." Lian escaped amidst the chaos and flames, feeling the strange ember pulsing inside his chest. He was the sole survivor. He spent days wandering in the mountains, tasting orphanhood and defeat for the first time. And slowly, he began to feel a change. His senses became sharper, and he would hear a faint voice in his mind, not words, but feelings. Feelings of power, wisdom, and ancient loneliness. Shen and his shadow assassins tracked him relentlessly. But Lian began to sense their presence before he saw them. He could see their life energy, or qi, flowing from them like black smoky threads, allowing him to escape at the last moment. Fate led him to a secluded hut inhabited by a blind hermit named Master Bai. As soon as Lian entered, the hermit said without raising his head, "The scent of the dragon is strong on you, boy." Bai revealed the shocking truth to Lian. There was no real dragon, but the essence of a small celestial dragon, which the guardians of the monastery had passed down from generation to generation. This energy was the source of the monastery's wisdom and its spiritual power. And he revealed an even more dangerous secret. He said, "Shen is not searching for power, but for healing. He is afflicted with the shadow sickness, a curse that befalls those who spill much blood, slowly consuming their being and turning them into a heartless monster. He believes that the pure energy of the dragon's essence is the only cure. But he does not know that the small dragon essence within you is also weakening. It is being poisoned by the seeds of hatred and the desire for revenge in your heart." Lian was stunned. His hatred for Shen was killing the world's last hope. He asked in a broken voice, "What is the solution?" The hermit replied, "You must find the Pearl of Essence. It is not a jewel, but a pure energy that exists only in the pure dimension. And to enter that dimension, you must pass 3 trials. The first trial was the trial of balance." Lian found himself standing on the edge of a deep chasm where fierce winds blew. The only bridge to cross was a series of swaying, distant stone pillars. Every time he tried to jump, his fear made him lose his balance and nearly fall. Finally, he closed his eyes and stopped thinking like a human, and began to feel the flow of the dragon's energy in his veins. He could see with his mind's eye the path of the wind and feel which pillars were about to collapse. He began to leap with an unbelievable lightness and agility, as if he were dancing with the storm, until he reached the other side. And as soon as he arrived, he felt a heat on the back of his hand, and a glowing tattoo in the shape of a golden dragon scale appeared on it. The second trial was the trial of patience. He entered a dark cave in the center of which was a single, unlit candle. An ancient voice told him, "This candle can only be lit by the light of the dawn star, a star that appears for only a single moment every 3 days, through a small opening in the cave's ceiling." Lian sat and waited. The shadows in the cave began to form into images of his monk friends blaming him for running away, and into the image of Shen mocking his weakness. They were illusions to break his resolve. But Lian remembered his master's tranquility and learned to find peace in stillness. He ignored the illusions and focused only on the small opening. And after 2 days of deep meditation, at the right moment, the star appeared, and a thin thread of light fell and lit the candle's wick, illuminating the entire cave. He felt a warmth in his forearm, and a second tattoo appeared in the shape of a glowing lotus flower. As for the third and most difficult trial, it was the trial of letting go. He found himself in the courtyard of the destroyed monastery, and standing before him was a shadow specter that looked exactly like Shen. This specter fed on Lian's hatred, and every time Lian attacked it with anger, the specter grew stronger and larger. Lian realized he could not defeat it with force. He remembered that his hatred was killing the dragon. He stopped fighting, closed his eyes, and instead of seeing a killer, he saw a suffering man afflicted with a disease that was destroying his being. And in that moment, he let go of his hatred, and the specter lost its source of power and vanished like smoke. A glowing gateway to the pure dimension opened before him, and a third tattoo appeared on his chest in the shape of a calm dragon's eye. It was a world of indescribable light and colors. And in its heart, he found the pearl of essence floating in the air. But, before he could reach it, Shen appeared. He had used dark magic to follow him. Shen said in a voice full of pain, "Give it to me. It is my only hope for a cure." A final confrontation began. Shen was a fierce fighter, but Lian was no longer a weak monk. He moved with the lightness and harmony of the dragon's energy. He was not fighting to harm, but to defend and to calm. And at the height of the battle, Lian realized the shocking truth. The pearl of essence was not a physical object that could be taken. It was a pure energy that manifested in a single moment. The moment you truly forgive your greatest enemy and sincerely wish for their healing. Lian stopped fighting, looked at Shen with compassion, and said, "I forgive you." In that moment, a brilliant light erupted from Lian's heart. He had manifested the pearl of essence from within himself. The pure energy washed over Shen, and the black shadow began to fade from his being. At the same time, the small dragon essence inside Lian was healed and returned to its full power. And here, we reach the hub of the story and its wisdom. This story guides us to understand that true strength is not the ability to defeat our enemies, but the courage to heal the wounds within them and within ourselves. Shen was a monster, but his monstrosity was merely a cry of pain from a sick being. The hidden gem of the story today is that revenge is a poison we drink hoping our enemy will perish. But forgiveness is the antidote that frees us first. For in the heart of forgiveness lies the greatest power in the universe, the power capable of manifesting the pearl of essence and restoring balance to the world. If you were in Lian's place and possessed the dragon's power, would you have chosen the path of revenge or the path of forgiveness? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to thank you, our dear followers, for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to The Alchemist's Tales to discover a new depth in our next tale.